I have another unboxing of books for you, and it is from Christian Books Distributors, and it was free. So stay tuned and I'll tell you all about it. Welcome to Learning with Boys. My name is Rachel. I am a homeschool mom of 4 boys. I have graduated 2, and we have just finished up our 16th year of homeschooling. And next school year, I will have a 7th grader and a 12th grader. And I actually just shared my 7th graders' curriculum picks with you, and I'll link that below. So I have a little backstory behind these books that I got free. I also did share a little bit of the unboxing on Instagram, and someone messaged me and said, I can't wait to see how you fit this into your homeschool curriculum this coming school year. And I can't say it's exactly curriculum, but I can say a lot of it will attribute to his learning. So I will get to that in a minute. But I went to the homeschool convention in Pigeon Forge early May. I also did a video on that. I'll link it below. But they had Christian Books Distributors there in the exhibit hall. And I was walking around. They had quite a few tables. It was pretty big. And the ladies were very sweet. And I must have filled something out. I don't really remember, because later that week I got an email saying that I had won the drawing. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know I even signed up, but great. So I was thinking maybe a $25 gift card, but it was for $100. So I was quite excited, but at the same time, it's stressful to narrow down $100, and I really didn't want to go over. I felt like I already had my curriculum picks, but I did have some things that my eyes had been on, like books for my 7th grader, and a couple other things that I am going to be showing you. So I am going to go ahead and get started. I did another unboxing of lots of different books, and I'll also link that below if you do like just to watch unboxings. So, all right, so this is sort of a variety of things. I did order a couple things for myself, and that was just some Christian cards. They are some, just thinking of you type cards and some sympathy cards. You get 12 cards. They have scripture in them. They were like $3.99, $5.99, something like that. So, and you get 12 each. So that's 24 cards. And I'm always needing cards, and it's hard to find decent cards. So I was excited to get those. So the rest has more to do with education, and the first book I got was much smaller than I expected. It's from David Barton, who is with Wall Builders. Let me know if you've heard of them. I don't know a lot about them, but I do know that I've read a book by him a couple years, I think when my oldest was in 10th, about George Washington, and it was so good. I actually have it in one of my videos. I talk about it. But this book was really small. I thought it was a little bit bigger, but it's about the Second Amendment from David Barton. So I just thought that looked interesting. Plus, my oldest just did a paper for college on this, and I thought it would be interesting to read. Another book that I got is also, it says Forward by David Barton, but it has to do with Noah Webster's advice to the young. So I have a feeling most of it is literally words from Noah Webster and moral catechisms. It is put out by Wall Builders. My 11th grader just read about him, I don't know if it was last year or this school year, and his story really was interesting enough for me to remember and think, it's not real thick, but I am going to add a few thoughts in here. The book reminded me of this book by George Washington, which is Rules and Civility and Decent Behavior. It's like a companion with conversations, and look how tiny that is. But my husband loved it because it was just good concepts, conversations that he could have with his son about teaching and training them to be honorable, respectful. He actually really loved this book. My husband did. So I'm curious what this book has to say inside, and the advice from Noah Webster. All right, a couple other books are on back order, but I'm going to mention them to you. They are both for my 7th grader because he loves to read, and he is also a World War II buff. But so the first one is called, and I'm going to put my glasses on because this is printed off and I can't see it real well. Gunner's Run, a World War II novel. It is put out by Journey Forth, which is BJU, and it is ages 12 to 17. So I wasn't real sure, but it is 19-year-old Jim Yoder is part of a 44th Division station in England during World War II. It's a historical fiction filled with the account of a young Christian's experience. So that sounds really good. It had great reviews. So but that's not here yet, but I'll link a picture right here. And the other book is also by Journey Forth, but it is actually ages 9 to 12. It didn't have any reviews, at least on the Christian book site, called Brave the Wild Trail. And it caught my attention because it's Civil War times in Florida. After the Civil War, men had to struggle to feed and protect their families. So Eben Bramlett's dream is to run a cattle drive down southern coast. His 12-year-old son Josh, also an expert both with horse and the bullwhip, as his partner, and together they assemble a company to go down there. So I thought it sounded pretty interesting. It's another historical fiction. So wanted to share those two with you. All right, some more books, and one of them is The Christian Heroes Then and Now. And this is Francis Asbury, and he is a circuit rider, and it is during 1745 to 1816 is his life, so I thought that would be a good book. My son will be doing early American history next school year, and we really enjoy The Christian Heroes Then and Now. So we just finished up one on Audible about David Livingstone, and that was really, really good. I actually read it to my boys several years ago, so you know, it's funny because when your kids are like 2nd, 3rd grade and then they're like 12 again and they're listening to it, it just means so much more. But it is good to introduce them to things early on. But it was a really good book, and we enjoy listening to them when we can on Audible, but we also enjoy reading them. Also wanted to share something else, and this is not in my Christian book haul, but it's something that you can get from Christian book distributors, and that is Lamplighters. They're books that are Audible theater. They're like, you can actually purchase the books and read them, but then they actually do them in like a story form with music and different actors. And this one was Charlie's Choice. This was such a good story. It's been a long time. There is a big age gap between my older boys and my last one. And I've had this for a long time, but it is probably best, I would say, 11, 12, 13 years old to listen to. It is about a young boy just growing up and making decisions on what is important. Fame and money, or family and God. So just really good story. In the past, I have gotten several of the Lamplighter Theater CDs from Christian book distributors. Probably most of mine are from there. So, but that I wanted to share with you. That was really good and really just age appropriate for him. So, and I'll link that below. I did post this unboxing on my Instagram, and if you don't follow me over there, I would love for you to join me. And like I said, they did ask, how will you use these books with your curriculum? And one of the books I got was Capitalism for Kids. Now, this is from the Blue Stocking Guide Company. Of course, you can purchase their books also on Christian Books Distributors, but it is where they get a lot of the Uncle Eric books, and then they have the Blue Stocking Guides that go along with them. And we have really enjoyed them the last couple years. So this had great reviews. And I thought, you know, even if we just read a chapter a week, or he could read this on his own. They really said it's very kid friendly. So excited about that book. Now, the rest is pretty much for him. And these two books are from Beautiful Feet. They are what I like to call living books. The first one is The Yanks Are Coming, and this is the United States in the First World War. And then I also got Victory in the Pacific, so this would have to do with World War II. They're both by Albert Marin, and as far as I know, they're both part of the Living Book series that would go with Beautiful Feet's guides. I've always wondered how these books were, so I'm excited to see how my son likes them. Because now I feel like my oldest probably would have read these. I just never wanted to spend the money on them. But, you know, when you have an option of picking out some things you've always wanted and you can, that was a blessing, such a blessing. So, and the other two books are actually Uncle Eric books, World War I and World War II. And he was excited because they're thick. That's what he said. Oh, good. And they're thick. Now, not every kid is going to want these or even these, because these aren't real thin either. So I will have to let you know how he likes them. Now, these Uncle Eric books, you know, he may just sit them on the coffee table and read them here and there. That is sort of how he does with thicker, more books that make him ponder and think about things a little bit more deeper and may take him a little bit longer to soak in. So I'm curious what his thoughts will be on these, because in my mind I thought, well, he could just look through them now and I can pull them out again during high school years when he does U.S. history too. So, because he'll probably even grasp more from those books at that age. So, but I just wanted to share what I got from Christian Books. And I do also want to mention that in the past, somehow I always end up with a free shipping code. And then one time somebody posted that if you go on their site and just type in free shipping, that they usually bring up a code. So and usually you only have to spend $35, which is not bad, especially if there's that one curriculum or that one book that you forgot to order. It's within reason. So it's better than $100 you have to spend. So I want to mention that to you. All right, I do appreciate you all watching. If you are new here and have not subscribed, I'd love for you to join us. And if you enjoyed this video at all, give it a thumbs up. That would encourage me. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you again soon.